Recording in progress. Okay, so Russell's not trend time bar. Dow no, Nasdaq no, S&P no at the moment, so just going to wait. So market overall is still on a downtrend. We're downtrending on the cash. So Dow 2 minute is a no. It's not trend time bar, so no. The Nasdaq and the S&P should go up. The trend is definitely up. Got long-term momentum up. In a pullback. So the thing we have to remember at the moment is the futures chart looks like it's up. It's on an uptrend, but the cash chart's all on a downtrend. The market's definitely still down from yesterday. So S&P trend no. Time bar no. So this is going to be really messy at the moment because the cash and the futures are not in sync. So futures is up, cash is down, market was down yesterday, so they're kind of fighting each other at the moment. So just got to sit back. Trade will come. Nasdaq do? 17 points. Okay. Okay, Dow's going straight down, but momentum is straight up on the 5, so this should come back a little bit. Four, six, five. Okay, cool. That's fine. What is that? Oh, it's the Nasdaq. Nearly took the Nasdaq 32nd there, but I'm still looking for a higher low beforehand, so. Cash is down, futures is up. That was the one there I was looking at. Okay, well, I've just taken my hands off the mouse. It's always best to sit here and take your hands off things so you don't do anything stupid. It's just really, it's volatile at the moment. Gonna have to wait for these charts to get back in sync, but I think we're definitely slowing on the downside here. If we can hold and consolidate. This is one of the frustrating things about trading, is that I'm absolutely in such a good mindset. Like, I feel great, definitely ready. Do a lot of work before the market opens. I do a lot of work to prepare for all this. And then you've just got to wait. So it's been, Monday was pretty average. I did miss a trade yesterday because I had my screen change, which was just pretty unforgivable, but it was a lesson. So I've learnt that lesson. You can see down in the bottom there, I've got a little thing up saying work time. I'm not answering any questions. So I'm not looking at any questions at the moment. I'm just concentrating on the chart. I'm just saying, what's the trend and are we in a time phase? That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for a pullback. We're in a pullback at the moment on the S&P, which is volatile. We're in a pullback at the moment on the Nasdaq, which is volatile. I do think we want to recover though. Okay, so the Dow is very interesting at the moment. It's coming up to a really significant level. I think it's got a very distinct possibility of turning around. You've got trend up and momentum up still, so just going to keep an eye on that. Close on the 30. Jesus, Cam, that's, couldn't call that any better. Let's see if it's actually going to push through there. It might not. There's the first call. Look at that. I just said, look out, straight down right near this level here, straight back up. Look at that. Called that perfectly. No entry for me, unfortunately. I really think it wants to go up. It's definitely trying, but yeah, not. Damn rules, eh? So there's no trend on the Dow, no trend on Russell. Okay, we should stall here on the Nasdaq for a little bit. Trend and momentum are not in sync. If you're a student, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not the move yet. Not quite yet. So now we've got a situation on the Dow where it's the other way around. Now it was too oversold before. Now it's too high. It's coming up to a previous high. And trend and momentum are just not in sync. Quite volatile. But I said this before. It looks like the downside is definitely slowing. And Nasdaq's going to need to come back down a little bit now. Maybe to 25% of that 5-minute bar. It's gone from Russell did almost the same trade. Yeah, definitely. The start is the hardest. The start is the hardest. You don't want to go negative at all. It's very different trading a prop firm to a real account. It's just so different. That drawdown that you have, the trailing drawdown, and that number that you have is a very psychological thing. When you have a real account, you don't really have that number. You don't have a trailing drawdown. So it does make it harder, but also the rewards are higher with a prop firm account too. So they make it harder for a reason. Most people will choose crappy trades. Well, we didn't come back down, did we? As I said, there's a strong possibility of going up tonight. This is a really important level coming up on the Nasdaq now, so let's see how strong this is. So we're definitely in a price phase now on all these. So S&P, definitely, we're going to have to wait for a pullback. Nasdaq's the same. Just a very clear trend on the futures with the S&P and the Nasdaq, but certainly not trend and momentum, so I don't think this will last for very long. Could come down pretty strong. Oops. Oh, this is why you don't play with stuff, kids. Camsy's going to learn this the hard way, it looks like. Why do you do things, Cam? Why do you do silly things? Because you're special, that's why. Well, lucky I tried to move that window during a price phase. Just leave that in there. Now don't touch it. Good news is it didn't look like it come up on YouTube. It just came up on the Zoom screen. So. Well, gee, everything looks good in hindsight, doesn't it? Maybe that 1 minute look on the Russell now. Yeah. This looks good in hindsight. I've got a feeling that Vasil took the 2 minute. That very much looks like the Russell 2 minute yesterday. So I'm tipping if Vasil took that one yesterday, he might have taken that one again. Oh, Vasil, I just talked you up too. Look, the 2 minute on the Nasdaq was good as well, but as I said, different. It's trend time bar, isn't it? On the two, it's trend time bar on the Russell 2 as well. Oh, you took a PPT on the ES. That's good. Well done. probably let momentum overcomplicate things a little bit there. I said many times, don't overcomplicate momentum. And I just pretty much did that, but that's okay. So Dow's coming back down a little bit now. I think the S&P and the Nasdaq should come back down a little bit now. Then hopefully we can get a little bit of a higher low and then maybe give it a real good run up. Let me have a look at this on a larger scale. Now, Monica, I'm not sure if you noticed tonight, but I had the disclaimer. So we've just hit 12. Had a big drop then on the Dow. Momentum is still up, so that's not going to drop from there. Oh, sorry, I meant at the start, Monica, not now. I did it at the start. I had a whole cycle of doing the disclaimer and stuff like that. So I was just mentioning it because I thought of you from yesterday. So again, I literally just said the Dow is overbought now. It's going to have to drop. That's why you're going to get volatility. So it must hold 50% of the 15-minute bar now coming down. The S&P and the Nasdaq are actually holding really well. For some reason, that announcement had more of an impact on the Dow than anything else. Okay, so here we go. This is it. This is where it's going to tell us a lot about what's going to happen because we're actually getting this pullback. Now, I said before, this could come down quite hard because trend and momentum are not in sync. On the cash charts, it's still really trending down. So it needs to hold at this level here, needs to hold. It's just a little bit above 50%. It's about 25-30% of the 15-minute bar. Pretty good. It actually just went down then and then held. To say it doesn't look great for long. Might have to just thinking out loud. Yes. Well, that's a really strong sign. I was actually thinking about that. I think you'll find, Monica, you've got to change your settings on YouTube to the high resolution. My background is naturally fuzzy. It's deliberately a little bit fuzzy. But you'll find that in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little wheel, and you click on that wheel, and it says quality. Just change it to 4K. If you're on YouTube too, one of my students just said that it looked like my image was fuzzy, and quite often that's because if you're watching me on YouTube, some of the standard default settings is actually a low resolution, so you just got to go into that little wheel down the bottom and on the right hand side and change the resolution to 4K. Doesn't really matter if I'm fuzzy, just matters whether the chart is good. That's what you really want to see, obviously. I don't think how I look really matters. This is very messy at the moment. Look, the only one was... I'm going to have nightmares about the Russell at the moment. There was one yesterday, and I reckon it's exactly the same trade again today. It's very close to what it looked like yesterday. A little bit flatter. I tell you what, to anyone who trades live, I have just the utmost respect. It is a totally different story when you got hundreds of people watching. Certainly makes you think about the quality of the setups that you're taking, and this is very interesting on the Nasdaq at the moment. It is holding, which is actually a really good sign. Really good sign for the S&P and the Nasdaq. It's not dropping. So it's right near a really significant level on the cash, and it's actually holding. So maybe it will hold and then break through that level. I'll just put my line throughout there. So there's that resistance level there. So that's the level. We've just got to hold throughout here at the moment. Oh, thanks, Nasdaq. Well, this is the big one here. So just a strong move down there on the 30-second, 15-second chart. Let's see if it bounces, which it is. That's a good sign. To me, it just doesn't look right to be going up right now. I think we're going to need to turn over and do some time. So anyway, if any of you are new to trading, this is what trading is about. So we've got actually more people on YouTube today. Awesome. But what I do is very different. This is not entertainment. No giveaways, no special prizes, no loud jumping up and down commentary. I don't talk a lot. I'm analysing the market. This is a very, very, high pressure job. So you've got to treat this with respect. Fuck background music. We're at work. We're not here to be entertained. There's no background music. No, absolutely not. If you're bored, then you're in the right place. If you leave here going, wow, that was really entertaining tonight, then I have not done my job. If you want some excitement, just do not trade. Trading is repetitive, it's consistent, it's doing the same thing over and over, just analysing the market like I'm doing now. I know exactly where we are. I've mentioned a few times now, we're definitely uptrending on the futures chart, but we've just had this big move. It's volatile, trend and momentum are not in sync, it's not ready to go up yet. So we're going to need to come down and do some time. What are my thoughts on drinking coffee while trading? It depends on who you are. If you're new to trading, absolutely not. No stimulants whatsoever. I actually drink, here you go, a little plug. I drink this, new tonic. I don't really drink a lot of it. And I actually take some, these are called Neuro Mints. I take Neuro Mints before the market opens. They've got caffeine in them, just for energy and focus. But I've been doing this for so long now. I've been trading for 31 years. So I don't get excited. I don't get emotional. So if I have a winning trade, you won't see me jump up and down like all these other wankers on YouTube who have just had a winning trade for the first time. I'm actually really looking forward to having a good, it'll happen. I'll have a 6-figure trade or something like that, and I've done it lots of times before. I won't get excited. So if your personality is the type to be quite calm and quiet, and you think that caffeine helps you stay awake and focus, then go right ahead. But I would probably say that stimulants for most people are a really bad idea. Yeah, I have an index chart, which is like the cash chart or the index chart. But whatever you need to do it to get into the right mindset, right mind frame. But if you are jittery if you get jittery from coffee, you're going to be in a lot of trouble when you trade. You don't, like, your hand will shake, which is just not good. So we're holding here a little bit. This just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for going up yet. Now, the problem we have with the S&P and the Nasdaq at the moment is the trend is up. We're in a pullback. I think there's a high probability it's going to turn over, but we can't go short because trend and momentum are up. So it's just a case of waiting for that. The Dow is interesting. Still a little bit volatile though with momentum, so. Honestly, as I've said many times, like, the first half an hour is the best for all trades. So the trades today were definitely just that Russell one, and that was at 45. 2-minute Nasdaq, 2-minute S&P. Oh wow, we got 2 likes. Boom. Come on guys, there's 35 of you watching. At least press like. Just press like. Helps out a little bit. Although, as I said, I don't really care about numbers of people watching me. I'm just doing this because I want everything recorded so it's authentic. So still haven't taken anything yet. It's been 2 days, missed one yesterday. These market conditions are tough. This has been a really tough couple of months. In that it's not tough for me, there's just not a lot of stuff. You can see 16 lots, so I can only see 2. Okay, well, now we've got to refresh it. Now there's 18. You are right. It doesn't, you've got to obviously refresh the... What are your thoughts on being selective in the market? Sorry, I didn't see that. Always, I mean, that's trading. I'm very, very selective. How do you categorize setup as high, medium, and low probability? It's pretty easy. I only take high. I categorize them in certain, my rules are very specific. If it meets those rules, it's high probability, and that's all I take. Trading's not very hard. It's just people, it's a good point. How do you categorize setup? Well, if it's medium and low, why would I want to take a low probability? I mean, it's kind of, if you think about that, I'm about to take a trade, it has a low chance of working. It's funny, isn't it? So, yeah, well, look, we don't know. I don't know with these guys. Are they actually, there's so much you can do now. You can fake real trades. You can buy a broker. You can have brokers put orders through and stuff like that. You can bring it up on your phone. I just think that, these guys are extremely entertaining. And this is what I just said about the Nasdaq and the Dow, Nasdaq and the S&P. I know it's going to drop, but I can't trade it because it's against the trend. So this is a little bit dangerous, this one here. Dow's dropping. I think this is going to sort of drift down. So we've just broken momentum on the 5, which means this price phase has possibly come to an end. So we should get a pullback now. But TJR is brilliant. He is so smart. He's not smart. He'll have people around him that are just doing great marketing. Alex FG, brilliant. A lot of these guys are really good at marketing, or they're really good at entertaining. I think what people don't understand today is many traders want to be entertained, and it's like people have this sort of thing about trading. It's, oh wow, it's fun and I can trade from my phone, and then I buy a Bugatti and it's just, oh wow, it's just so fun. It is absolutely not. Real trading is not fun. And yeah, if you like doing the same thing over and over, and that includes making money, trading can be good. So we have, it's just not a higher low here. Same on the Dow, not a higher low. Nasdaq, higher low, no. Probably happy to be more aggressive on these in the future, but I'm not. Want to start off positive. So I'm just going to be patient here. Don't think a lot of these kids realize that actual trading is kind of like training to be a Navy SEAL. Okay, so that 30-second on the Nasdaq did work, not surprising. Trend up, momentum straight up. Okay, we're going to get a little run up from here. Certainly trying. This is a really important time now. It needs to break through this high now with momentum really strong. This is the time that it needs to break through. So I just don't see it happening on the Dow though. Yeah, it doesn't look right, does it? May just poke its head through this high on the Nasdaq. Okay. Well, this is what they do. So what they usually do is when you get significant highs and significant lows, they know that the big boys know that people put their orders there because they're lazy, and they put orders throughout there, and then they just poke at the head through and then they drop it. This is not ready to go up yet. It's just not. So very weird situation now. slide down a little bit. Well, it's a bit frustrating because it looks like it's going to go down from here at the moment. You can see the Dow is starting to move down, but it's not ready. So it wants to go down. So I can't go short here. I mean that, like, if we go to, like, I'll bring up the 5 minute chart here. Bring up all the 5 minute charts for a second. So, the simple way of looking at things is I always ask myself, who's in control? So who's winning on these charts? So if you look at this is the S&P here, low and a higher low. There's no way you're going to go short. That's against the trend. Down here, you've got the Nasdaq low and a higher low. It's in a price phase. There's no way of going short there. The Dow at the moment, you've still got this big area here that's in control. So it's right near 50%. So that's still winning. So it's kind of like we're not sure whether it's going to go up or go down because this side here is still longer. So that's in control. Russell, low, higher low, up is still in control. You're trading against the trend. So the trend on this chart here, on the Dow, it's coming near 50%, but that's the low, that's the high. It's coming down, it's right on 50% at the moment. So the previous range throughout here is stronger. Yeah, but if you're trading inside a range, you're going to get smaller moves. But yeah, I do. That range would probably be on a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart that I'll trade inside the range. But that's where we get back down to the. This is where we get down to the. The probability. Well, it's going to be low. If you're trading at a range, it's going to be lower probability, isn't it? So why are we taking it? So it's right on. If we look at this at the moment with the Dow, it is. That range is right on 50%. So it's sort of starting to break through it. So we'll see what happens. I think it could drop. It should actually drop because the overall trend on the cash charts is down. So would not be surprised at all. But the question is not what it's going to do. Is there going to be an entry for you to take? And just can't see an entry there at the moment. And this is what trading's about. You might think it might go in a certain direction, but you've got to, there has to be a high probability for it. We're not here to fuck spiders. I'm not here just to take trades. I'm here to make money, and you make money by being very selective on what you choose. It's funny, I just looked at the other guy, but I looked at Future Scalper before, and I've watched him like beforehand, and he's been around for a long time, great trader, but very different to how I trade. He's obviously a scalper, so he will trade lots of different movements. And this is why you've got to trade based on your personality, because some people can handle getting in and out and having losses and those sorts of things. I've always been a quality over quantity person, which is why I have so much confidence in saying I know I can get this account from $2.5 to $1 million because I know the quality of the stuff that I take will be high. So we'll see what happens. Slowing momentum on the Nasdaq, we should really get a drop here soon. But we're getting to that time of the day, 10:49 in the US, so still okay. we just said this. It's definitely starting to look heavy. Moving average numbers are just irrelevant. I don't talk about moving averages on here. They're on the chart. I don't use them a lot. A lot of them are just to have stuff on the chart. I don't use them. So numbers, too many people concentrate on a moving average number and all that sort of crap. It's just trade with the trend, trade after a pullback. That's it. Been doing the same basic stuff for 31 years, so. Everyone wants to know, what's the magical moving average number? They're all irrelevant. Concentrate on the bars. Well, they suck some people in there on the Nasdaq, I can tell you that. Gee, that Russell looks heavy, doesn't it? Oh, really want to take this on the Dow, but it's just not good enough. This is what happens. It starts to build up. And this is the difference. This is what happens. You just got to control your emotions and control what you want, because what you want, there you go, look at that, straight away it fails. So it's like, ooh, in my head, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could just take a micro. You just want to take a micro, just get on the board, get it green, stuff like that. And you end up lowering your standards and you just take a piece of shit. It's like, no. Exciting, exciting. Not really. So, looking at everything now from what we we're just talking about before. So we have to do that like this. Let's see if this works today. We're struggling with this little tool yesterday. It was quite slow. Okay, so let's see if this works. Yes, it does. Okay, so pretty simply, got a low and a higher low over here. We had an up, down. What I was considering was just this one here. That's the pullback. So that was possibly the entry there, but started the account. So we're now just in this move here. We're in a price phase and we're starting to slow. So we're drifting throughout there. This here, you've got a low and a higher low. So definitely a clear uptrend. You've got, this is the move up here. That's the price phase. And you can see it's starting to slow after the pullback. That's what we're looking for there. This one down here is very different. So you've got a low. And you almost have the same low. You've got a little bit of a higher low creating now, but it's not significant. So that's why I think that we've broken through this 50% level on the Dow. It's up and down, it's volatile, really. And then the last one we have is the Russell down here, and that's pretty much the same as everything else. As soon as I say that, Dow starts to move. Look, I'm not going to be trading that, but So we're still just drifting here. Randy. That's so funny. I love that. If. No, I think you mean when, Randy. When you eventually take your apex into profit, will you take smaller draws or wait for a larger amount? So I said this last night. I am not here to do withdrawal. I won't be taking any withdrawals for probably at least a month. My goal is to build the account to 100,000 first, and then build it to 1 million, and then go for the highest ever payout at 3 million. And that's going to take a long time. It's going to take at least 3 months. My goal is to build up the account as much as possible first, so I've just got a huge buffer. And then I'll just trade normally and trade 5 contracts on every trade, which will be 100 contracts over 20 accounts. And yeah, I just want to get the account up as much as possible. Once I get to probably 1 million in the account, then the consistency rule won't matter. So I'll just trade normally. I'll need to do that for 10 days. It's not a mistake. I'm sorry, I'm being funny. But people, this is the different mindset, Randy. It's actually a really good lesson. When most amateurs trade, they always say if. Maybe. Like, I have 150 million% belief. There is nothing in my head that there is no doubt whatsoever that I'm going to do this. Now, is there a possibility that I won't? Well, of course, logically, but you've got to think of this like Tiger Woods. Like, if Tiger Woods is over a putt and it's a 10-foot putt, his mentality is, there is nothing else but I'm going to make this putt. That's the sort of mentality that you need for this sort of job. So you can't take it all out. No, you can't. So what you need to do is you must have 4 payouts first of a minimum amount of a small amount. I think the amount is $5,000. It was either $2,000 or $5,000. So you have to have, is it 3 or 4? I don't know. I'll find out. I did find out this. They did tell me all about this. I've spoken to Apex. I've met with them. They came out to Dubai and met with me. I've spoken to them on the phone. I've told them what I'm doing. They told me all the rules. I've told them what I'm going to do. They've told me what I need to do. They're very, very supportive of me doing it. If I can do it, they're very, very happy. So the big thing will be the consistency rule. That means you can't make any more than 30% of your account profit in a trade, and that means that if you are up $100,000, then you can't make any more than $30,000 on a trade. That's why I want to just get up to 100 and then just trade consistently like I normally do. I very rarely have losses. I'll just trade consistently and it'll all take care of itself. And then I'll have, I think it's 3 payouts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 payouts. And I'll take 3 payouts of $100,000. And then after you've done 3 payouts, on the 4th, you can actually withdraw it all. So my goal is to maybe get to 1 million, take 3 payouts of $100,000, build it up, get it to 3 million, and then have the highest payout ever. And the goal, I want to do this because I want to show to people that all this, crap that's out there about making trading difficult, like fair value gaps and inversions and frickin' confluences and mitigate and blah, blah, blah. It's just so difficult. Just trade with the trend. It's not that hard. So, but yeah, my mindset is, I know it's going to happen. So that's what you just got to get in. That's why, Randy, you've got to say, okay, well, do you believe in your strategy? Do you believe in what you do? Like, I've been doing what I do for 31 years. I've used the same strategy for years. So I have incredible belief in the strategy. The only thing I have to make sure I keep on top of is my psychology and the external factors, which is trading in front of people. And people in the community, in my trading community, will know I've worked very hard on, like at the start, not answering questions, not talking, concentrating on the charts, being focused. So now I can talk for a little bit, like I'm withdrawing and relaxing at the moment a little bit because the charts are quite volatile. I'm not expecting anything at the moment, but pretty soon I'll zip in again. You can see that we've been drifting up on the Nasdaq, drifting up on the S&P. We're starting to slow. Certainly expecting a drop soon. As I said with the Dow, exactly what I said has happened. Look at this. Broke through 50%. It was turning over. Broke through 50%. Now we're coming down to this level. Russell is still strong, but momentum is slowing. Nasdaq is still strong, but momentum is slowing. So you can see this whole, oh, there we go. Now we've got this. So here the S&P here, there's the low, higher low, strong move up. Look at this, we're turning over, we're slowing, momentum is slowing. If you're buying here at the moment, you're an absolute numbnut. Same with the Nasdaq, trend is up, momentum is slowing, we're gonna pull back. We might get a pullback down to this significant level here. We might get a pullback down to this significant level here on the S&P. Dow is, we don't know who's in control. Awesome, 5th payout uncapped. Okay, thank you. I was thinking it was 4. Look, they're a business. They don't make it easy for you. But, you know, I mean, I've spoken to them. They have said not a problem, but I don't think they expect me to do it. I think they very rarely expect people to make money out of trading. So we'll see, but I'll be doing it all live and everyone will see it. So as we just said, Nasdaq's now starting to drop. Trend is still up. I still think we're going to get a bit of a turnover here. So, I mean, it's 2 weeks for each payout. So essentially, for the first payout, have to be consistent for 2 weeks. It's 10 trading days. So I'm just going to say 2 weeks. I think, is it 10 days? It might even be 10 days, not 10 trading. 10 trading days is 2 weeks. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks that you've got to be consistent just to get 4 payouts. So that's 2 months. And then another 2 weeks. So that's 2 months and 2 weeks. So, you know, to get that sort of payout, it's going to take a minimum of three months. But, you know, logically, if I do a really good trade, normally on a trade, like I'll give you an example the other day, the Russell, I think I brought this up last night. Well, we can do this now. Now let's do this. Let's do tonight's example. Not now. Tonight's example was on the Russell. said this one down here. Where were we? That was it there. So 2448, 2448.2, 2448.2. Oh, why has it changed? Why did it do that? Oh, I didn't. So that's done a hotkey. That's annoying. I have to turn that off. That's a hotkey that I did on here. Dum. So 2448.2. And then the exit was, okay, we'll say 24, so stop through there. 2456. 2456, and it's done it. Has it done it again? It's done it again. Okay. So again, this is if I was trading normally, that would be 5 contracts. Oops, wrong screen. So 5 contracts and 78 ticks is 1930. Now that's per account, so we times that by 20. So remember, that would be 100 contracts. So there you go. That's a $38,000 trade today with 5 contracts. So you can see how quickly you do 2 of those a week, you're up to 100 grand. Easy. So then you're doing 100 grand a week, easy. So, and that's on the Russell. Like, the Russell is incredibly slow. The Nasdaq, 100,000 in a trade, easy. So it's all possible. Now let me change this. I did something stupid earlier. Settings. I just got to get rid of those bloody hotkeys. I did something stupid with the hotkeys. Delete. There we go. So, I mean, this is the advantage of doing prop firm trading, is that I'd never trade 100 contracts on the Russell. Just wouldn't. But when you're doing it with a prop firm, it's a sim trade. So there's a little bit of slippage, but it doesn't take into account the liquidity. So when you do it with, it takes liquidity of 5 contracts, which is, as I said, pretty amazing. That looks weird on the screen. Jeez, I messed that up. So we're getting probably the last bounce here. It is bouncing on the S&P and the Nasdaq, but it is absolutely slowing momentum. This will definitely be a suck in. So, okay, well, I'm going to take my break. This is what I normally do. I normally do the first 2 hours. I'm going to leave the screen on for about half an hour, and then I'm going to come back. I'll do a little bit longer with YouTube. I'll leave you guys on. You're welcome to stay. I'm just going to have a break for a little bit. I can't be in front of the screens for huge periods of time. It's a long day. We're getting into the quiet part at the moment, so I'll turn my camera off. I'll turn this off because we are definitely answering questions. That's fine. So Dow and the Russell are sort of having a move here, but I don't see that. You can see that trend is still down on the Dow. Can I do that? I will be more aggressive, guys, as the account gets up. I'm just being very conservative at the start. There's nothing worse than, like, you've got a fresh account balance. Probably just going to have to be patient for a little bit. I'm not going to take anything stupid. I really don't. Like, I'm not feeling pressure to try and impress you guys or hurry up and take amounts. I don't really care what people say. At the end of the day, it's just it'll look a lot better if I've taken high quality trades, have a really high win-loss ratio. It's not only making the $1 million that I want to do, I want to do it with a really high win-loss ratio. And that just takes quality. So there's no there's no trend time bar on the Nasdaq. It possibly was on the S&P on that 1 minute chart. Dow is trend down and Russell is also trend kind of flat. So I'll come back in about half an hour, guys. I'll leave everything running. Up to you if you want to be on. If you're on YouTube, as I said, please like. Looks like most people have. We've got 27. Looks like we've got 27 likes now, which is great. We were up to 31 likes. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. I just want to show you. It's just so interesting because, you know, we're starting at such a low number, and I've said this to everyone in my community too. I want to show you that everyone has to start somewhere, and it will always look shit at the start, and you just got to ignore it and keep going, keep going, keep going, and we'll look back on this in months' time and you'll go, oh, I remember the start of this. Because you've just got to do the same thing with your own trading when you're building your own account. And this is exactly like building a new account for the first time with $500 in it. You're a bit nervous, you don't want, you know, you really want to make money, but you don't want to blow the account. So this is a very interesting experience for me. But I'm going to be disciplined and I'm going to be patient. That is it. Okay, guys, I'll see you. I'll come back in about half an hour. I'll just let the market settle for a little bit, and then I might do another half an hour on YouTube. And then the rest of you, stay around for a couple of hours. I'm not going to do the full session. I said this earlier today. I'm not going to do all the way till the close. It's just too much physically. So we are at 11:28 at the moment, and yeah, that is all. I'm using affordable indicators, Sonny. So if you look in the top corner here, this one here, this is actually what's called affordable indicators. It's their accounts dashboard and their trade copier. So I use that. I've actually got Replicanto as a backup, but I don't use it. This has worked great so far. Affordable indicators has been great, but it works great with Tradeovate. I'll do a video on the weekend. I did do a rhythmic connection and had so many problems that I had to get rid of the account. So I didn't blow that account. I actually had to get rid of it because it was, the trade copier just didn't work with Rhythmic. It was so bad. But that's what I'm using. Affordable indicators. You'll see it at the top. If you want to get it, there's actually, just use my code and you'll get like 20% off or something like that. So, okay, guys, I'll be back in about half an hour. I'll see you soon. Well, hey. Soda water. I still can't see an entry there. I mean, maybe that, but gee. Well, look, I'm doing this live and I'm just thinking I might have to reduce the ego a little bit. I didn't want to do this, but I'm thinking that I'm probably being a little bit conservative and I might have to go to 5 micros to start. Didn't want to, but one of the things about trading is you've got to remove your ego, and it's like, well, I want to get started. There's been, I still think, that's a trade on the one. That's on the Russell. That's 2 trades on the Russell that have done that. So at least you're seeing this live. And I looked at that Dow one there and I just went straight away, no. Yeah, I don't mind about the Dow. That's fine. That wasn't, but definitely the Russell was. S&P, no. Nasdaq, maybe that one. Maybe there. I can't see anything on the S&P. Like, you've got the 1 minute. That did 3. Yeah, it came back down a little bit. So, anyways, so I'll have a think about it. But if there's ever any doubt about what I do, I mean, let's look at this and this. So Dow was no, but let's just keep this absolute. This is why trading is stupid. That is a low. That is a higher low. Why would you be going short? Why would you do anything else? That is a low. That is a higher low. Why would you be looking at anything else? Same thing there. Same thing there. So yes. Anyways, we're done for a while now. We're just in a price phase now. So Dow is done for a long time. Russell, yep. So there we go. Okay, YouTube. Very, very interesting process. Starting from scratch and starting your account again is just, especially with that drawdown, is a very weird experience. It's something that I haven't experienced for so many years because I've always had such a significant amount in my account. I never think about the downside, and this is why prop firms are very smart. They make people think about the downside really quickly because of that trailing drawdown. Now, there are other ones that don't do a trailing drawdown, but then you also have less contracts, and I think you can only trade 5 accounts with a lot of them and stuff like that too. So there's pros and cons with all these. But that's a beautiful low, beautiful high low, long-term momentum up. So yes. Okay, guys, I'm going to end YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll get something. As I said, I may have to take the ego down a little bit and maybe do 5 micros. 5, still be a positive because it's 5 micros. I'm certainly not going to do 1 micro. That's just silly, but I'll have a think about it and take it from there. So I trade outside of YouTube as well. I'm also doing a live stream with all my students So I might get a trade earlier in the day tomorrow. We'll see. So, okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night, YouTube. Thank you for liking. I've seen we've got more subscribers already as well. So I appreciate it, guys. I'm just trying to be transparent and honest with you. Things are good. Things fuck up.